like I say, it's more than that. I can also tell you how basically they were using my elephants, or they were using elephants to. A long time ago, those little the elephant riders we made a little carriage or something that would ride up on top of elephants for seeing Africa and stuff like that. So there were like elephant taxis hundreds or thousands of years ago, where basically this one group was basically elephant trainers or whatever like that. They used to train the elephants, and because we used to use elephants for lots of things. So they would give rides to people when they went to Africa or one of these other countries on these elephants. So, and we also use the elephants for doing poop and stuff like that, because when they poop, they break down the different elements and stuff like that. So their poop was highly valued and stuff like that. So anyway, so these elephants would build things for me, and work in towns and stuff like that. And I had a standing army of like 800 or 80,000 elephants. Well, couple hundred elephants anyway, like 800 elephants. I had a standing group of 800 elephants. Anyway, so this one group was taking care of the elephants, and each time they would give a ride on the elephant, they would charge like a nickel or some coin amount. Anyway, and over the years they had amassed quite a big fortune, which they were saving for me. So anyway, eventually someone raids or finds out how much money they have, and they basically raid and kill a bunch of them and steal the money. But it's my money, so I'm like, well, shit, I'm sorry. But because they were saving it for me, because it was my money. So, because I only asked for like 1% or like a third of whatever they made, which was more than enough, that was, they were making a lot of money. And people were going on elephant rides because, well, they were my elephants. And it was one of my carriages that they had built for riding on top of elephants. So everybody went to Africa and rode on these elephants or whatever, because, plus, elephants are a good way to see the jungle or whatever else like that, and basically these people made a lot of money off of it. And a lot of fertilizer, because they were making money off the fertilizer and off the rides. So, and they were just a group, taking care of my elephants. So they amassed quite a big fortune and all that other stuff, and they, work for me, work with me, blah, 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 blah. So that's how I'm connected to elephant riders of thousands of years ago. They were keeping about a third or a quarter of whatever they made for me. And over generations, it basically added up to a lot of money. Which later on I was like, well, they're just going to steal it anyway, so just start spending it or whatever. I'm like, I don't really care. Fine, forget it. I'll make other money. So anyway, so like you see, like, all these groups throughout, and that's another thing is that like Nixon, when Nixon starts getting in this epic battle with Lucifer Star with me, between the American government and Lucifer Star, you see, like, he didn't really realize that basically, and even Rodney didn't realize that it's like, well, all the way from Rome, Helena Troy, elephant riders, Nazi, or not Nazi during, but I mean Germany, Ireland, Romania, America, Mexico, and I can list off all these times of how, like, I had a pipeline, an Ireland pipeline put in Mexico. I paid for it, and we built a mine and everything else like that. And I talked to what's her name, the leader of Mexico. She was a female, and basically the federales, or the federal government, or basically the Republicans or whatever, Nixon, basically what would be American government, basically went down there and shot one of her husbands, thinking that it was him that was leading the country and not her. But she actually had 3 men that she was associated with, because she liked men. So, anyway, and she ended up shooting the guy. So, because they didn't think that, they thought she was just a woman. So, anyway, and this is basically who, America, or whatever else like that, because the Mexicans were going to come together on my side, because I had 4 wagon loads of guns and Gatlings and everything else given to basically her and her man from Belfast, or one of these other places. High-powered weapons, basically. Because, I didn't really care about Mexico. I mean, I cared about Mexico, but I wasn't really like, I need Mexico! Like, I didn't even need Colombia. Like, I built Colombia, but it was like I was building the Panama Canal and harnessing the power of a river. So it's like we pipe it all the way down to Colombia and the Cape, and I'm using the food for my White Star Alliance thing, but I don't really need that much food. And they're growing opium down in Colombia and all kinds of stuff. And Colombia is like this cash cow after we invest all this money in basically Panama, but Panama's mine. So, and I paid for it, and my people went and built it because it was for me, and so anyway, and then I end up mortgaging and using the food to feed other people, and I also end up buying America because well, I only need a small little piece of land. So anyway, and I build everything from the Russian railroad to one railroad in China I build one railroad up to the Alps in China or something like that, and also do a bunch of stuff in America. And anyway, so I do all these different things, and throughout time and space, and do all this other stuff. And the thing is that basically, I'm Lucifer Star, your leader, your creator, I'm your one. So anyway, so that's why Trumpy and the White House and the Republicans and Democrats have a $600 trillion bounty on my head, because and basically Roosevelt was trying to take over Panama. Once it got finished, or once it was going to be finished, he wanted to try and have Colombia attack Panama and take it over, in the name of the Republic or the Confederacy or something like that. But the Irish find out about that, and the Irish know me from White Star Lines Company, because they know me as basically White Star Lines. So they know me from Belfast, and they know me from my slate quarries, because I own LS Slate. I'm LS, Lucifer Star Slate. So, and I was really cool with my slate. A lot of people couldn't afford the slate house or whatever else like that, or all the slate. And I was like, well, okay, well, or a lot of people were getting cheated out of slate, and it's like, well, it's just stone, and I tried, I was inventing and doing pay schedules and all that other stuff, and we were building out of slate and stone. And so anyway, so that's how it all like connects together. Is it's like this big circle and this big thing, and basically I'm Lucifer Star, builder of the Titanic and the Lusitania and Leviathan, and basically epic gold mines and huge amount of thing, the Panama Canal, the canal that goes all the way down to the Cape. The pipeline that goes all the way down to the Cape, some of the biggest mines in the whole world, and also on other planets. And technically I also had deep under ice mining as well. Thousands of years ago, when this place used to just be an ice block, I had cities under there. So, and we were doing warming pools to warm up the planet, but we needed a moon. So I had a moon built or put here. I forget how that happened. I might have just paid for it. Like I said, I'm the creator of 800 galaxies, or at least these 2 galaxies, and then 412 others. So, like, I could just be like, I need a moon. And it's like, did you request a moon, sir? Yes. And it's kind of like that. Where like, I was the creator of exoskeletons, endoskeletons, the 1.5s, and basically what would be considered the Borg, computers and humans together. And computers and other life forms often work together, either being directly connected or by being, computer and electronics are with a lot of life forms in the universe. Exoskeletons, 1.5s, and probably quite a few other life form types. So yeah. So and technically I'm from about a billion years before humanity, and even before the stars were ever built, as there were no stars. And that's why I'm Star, Lucifer Star. So it's just that, there's my existence before, my existence now, and my existence is Brian. So anyway, and that's why Rodney, Rick Bush, and a bunch of other people want to kill Brian or kill me now, and why there's actually a $600 trillion bounty on Brian or me's head. Because I'm actually Lucifer Star. Epic creator. So anyway, so basically American government, Rick Bush, and everybody else can't have Easy Street. But like I say, I talked to the Mafia, and I was like, Mafia, you guys, if you just work with me, if you actually just, you don't have to do illegal things, you don't have to kill people. There's no reason to have to kill people. Why are you breaking the law? And like I said, and I was fine with at least one state being, being gambling and prostitution. In fact, like all the way from back from Roman days, I was protecting women of whatever, the night. I don't mind women getting, whatever, all the way from Rome to present day. So we used to pay Spartans or whatever in Rome to protect the women. Make sure people don't get to whatever or don't, whatever. So anyway, and some of my bathhouses were actually, I had Roman bathhouses and tile, stuff like that. I had people working on tile all the way from Roman times to nowadays, scientists. So anyway, yeah. So that's how it all fits together, and that's why I'm Lucifer Star. Anyway, an LSF-A colony ship. But like I say, Nixon JFK was lying about the LSF-A colony ship, and the Republicans have been lying, and the Democrats have been lying, and basically they're trying to do this American. But it's like I named America. I invented your government. So, yeah. Anyway. And everybody loved the America. And everybody loves the Constitution and the civil rights. The Chinese, everybody could agree on basically contracts and civil rights and everything else like that. And my Constitution is actually used throughout the planet Earth and throughout the universe, I believe, as basically how life forms should be treated. I think most higher things don't have to worry about it, but I mean. But back in the old days, a lot of managers and a lot of owners of companies and other stuff, or owners of countries used to be like, "You must submit to me," But I'm like, well, if you just give them money or give them drugs or make their life better or whatever, you can get all the you want. So like I convince people and I get people to just, I reform people basically, and I show them the new way. I show them a better way. I'm like, if you just work with me, I'll show you a better way and you'll have all the sex you want. So anyway, so people start working with me and people start doing what I want them to do and stuff. And like I say, it works. They get all the sex they want. Women are like, "Oh, we love you. We want to be a part of you. Have my baby." To all these actors and directors and people, I'm like, and I'm the one that's behind, like, giving them a little bit of steroids, giving them a little bit of drugs to get the weight off, and so they look really good, and so then the women like cling to them like whatever, and they can have their choice of women. So, and I'm the one behind all that. I'm like, well, science and blah 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 and drugs, and we can make you look any way you want, and I prove it. So anyway, so then yeah.